Yeah. Mount Meru.
Yeah. Krishna said of mountains are Mount Meru. And he says of secrets he's silence. So in the 8th chapter he tells Arjuna what it is.
In the 8th chapter?
In the 8th chapter he talks about all the different ways to remember him, and he says, but what is the use of all this detailed knowledge when with a single fragment of myself I pervade all of existence? So he told them, this, whatever I'm telling you, I just take a spark of my splendor, and then everything you see around you I pervade it with just a spark of my splendor. The Supreme Lord is so transcendental. Just to think of him, we can't even get our mind around him. He's so huge. But yet, for a devotee, he's so understandable. He said, I can only be understood by devotional service. So those people who engage in bhakti, devotional service, can easily cross over material nature. But others who don't take to this process, it's like an ocean and they drown in it. But devotees easily cross. He said, the ocean comes to be like the footprint of a tiny calf. Small little footprint, easily crossed over.
Speaking of size, you said he's so gigantic. I've read somewhere, I believe in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that he's only 9 inches tall in his natural form.
No, he's everything. We all exist in his stomach. So how is he gonna be 9 inches tall when we all exist inside of him?
Yeah, I could have swore I read that somewhere though. If I find it,
the abode of the living entities is the stomach of the Lord. That's why when Mother Yashoda tied him up with ropes around his waist, one of the prayers is, that's the abode of all existence is the Lord's stomach.
Wow.
There's nothing outside of him. So he can be smaller than that. He pervades all of existence in the form of Paramatma, which goes in every atom. So he's even smaller than the atom. So he's not even 9 inches. He's much smaller than that.
Speaking of which, what are the dimensions of the soul? What are the attributes of the soul? Why is the soul so special? Want me to pause this? Yeah, what's the science of the soul itself?
The dimensions of the soul is 1/10,000th the tip of a hair. Meaning, if you take a hair and you split it 10,000 times, one of those 10,000 times, the tip would be the size of one soul, the atomic spirit soul. And the soul is filled with 4 things. It's filled with...
Make a right on Broadway.
Satchit Ananda Vigraha.
Satchit Ananda
And Vigraha, yeah. Which means knowledge, bliss, eternity, and personality. These 4 qualities is the actual nature of the soul. It's always blissful, it's always eternal, and it's always a person, and it's always full of knowledge. So when somebody said they don't know, it's not true. The knowledge is there, but because it's covered over by a mountain of material karma, they never get to experience all that they know and all that the bliss that they feel, because there's too much karma cover them up, like a mirror that's covered with dirt. The only way for the mirror to reflect and show the individual that's looking at it is if you clean the mirror. So the chanting of the holy name, the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, it cleans the mirror so that one can see oneself finally in this pure transcendental form.
Alright, good. So now that you touched on, you know, the Maha Mantra right now is like one of my favorite subjects.
Yes, yes.
And I realized that this is a transcendental sound vibration. There's no difference between Krishna and his name, right?
No
now,
difference.
If Krishna is eternity, then doesn't that mean every time I say the Maha Mantra, it exists for an eternity in that place, whether I can perceive it or not with my material senses, or I'm just speculating, you know?
Prabhuji, when you say the mantra, not only is it in eternity, it goes into different dimensions, different times, different yugas, and it vibrates through everything. Nothing can stop its movement. Up, down, heavenly planets, hellish planets, the mantra pervades everything.
You had mentioned that people who take to this path of devotional service, and especially people who, you know, really do that Maha Mantra a lot, you have mentioned you start to get the attention of demigods. Shiva, Brahmaji, you know, Parvati, and the whole pantheon basically starts to look at you. Is that could that be a good thing or a bad thing? For example, Indra, we know he's a great devotee of the Lord, but he's also a little insecure in a certain aspect. That if you do a lot of austerities, he gets afraid that you're going to take his position. Yeah. That was the whole thing with the Govardhana hill and Krishna lifting it on his pinky finger for 7 days. Yeah. So with these Govardhana hill. So when you have these demigods looking at you, I mean, is that a plus or is that a bad thing?
Well, the thing is, some of the demigods, especially Durga Ma, her job is to keep you away from Krishna's pastimes so that you do not interfere with it. So what she will do is she will give you other alternatives. For instance, she will say, okay, what do you want to stay away from being a devotee? You want money, you want beautiful women? So what she will do is she will offer you stuff, or she will poke you to get you to get off your game, to stop chanting. The other demigods, after a while, they'll realize that you're not going anywhere, and then she will stop poking you, and Krishna will tell her to help you, and she will keep fools up off of you. So it comes a point when you become serious that she switched from trying to take you away to try to protect you while you're doing your service. The other demigods, they're all great devotees. You understand? And they have their jobs to do. For instance, Shiva's too busy meditating on Mohini Murti. He don't have that much time to be paying attention to other living entities. So when they ask him for stuff, he grant it automatically so they can stop bothering him.
Because he's busy, huh?
He's busy. So that's why a lot of people go to Shiva for some material benefit. Because he's so busy, he just give it to them so they can leave him alone.
Okay.
So the demigods are interested in people who chant, because the word devotee, das and dasi, actually means deva or demigod. So when you become a devotee, you're actually on the same platform as demigods. That's what it means. Yeah. Servant, they're all servants. Okay. And when you become a servant, you're actually in the same class.
So tell me about the Orisha and the Netaru. You know, because everybody has their own god
Those
system.
are all demigods. This is just different names for the demigods.
That's what I've been telling people, yeah.
And so even in ancient Greek and ancient Romans, they had their little pantheons. How's the demigods? Even you go to Easter Island, you have the big Moais. Those are demigods they were worshiping. Even every culture on the planet had some form of demigod worship. But every culture on the planet also focused on one at one point. There was only one main deity. And for us, his name is Krishna. We know his name, we know his forms, his qualities, pastimes, associates, and paraphernalia. And when one knows the name, destination, associates of the Lord, one can enter into his abode. And this is what makes Krishna consciousness so powerful. We know the destination, we know the address, and we can get there because the Lord makes everything clear for us.
Okay, so question. You know, this is to clarify for the people who are going to be watching this video. Is Krishna a demigod? Is he a god? Is he an angel? What is Krishna?
Krishna Swayam Bhagavan. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead all by himself. No one is equal to or greater than him. All others have a cause. Krishna has no cause. He's the original candle that lights everything up. He's the one that everyone is seeking for. He's the reservoir of all pleasure. Everything you ever wanted is reposed in the Lord himself. So everybody's claiming to be Christians, not knowing that the word Christian comes from the word Krishna. Because when the first Christians went to Antioch, they said, we seen you guys, somebody before coming preaching that same thing. Y'all not teaching something different. This is something, y'all are Christians. And in the beginning, the Christians resisted. They said, no, we don't want to be called that. But after a while, just like a nickname would stick on a person, it stuck on them. So now billions of people claim to be Christians, not knowing the name is a derivative of Krishna. What most people don't know is that the ancient Greeks, that they get most of their Bible, and most of the scriptures from, were great devotees of Krishna. Christos, Krista, all these Greek names were actually derivatives of when they were Krishna conscious and they were worshiping Krishna back in the days.
Let me stop.